Hey guys, this is Ash here again at Flight Sim Reviews, and today I want to do my second product review on the TrackIR 5 from Natural Point. The TrackIR, of course, is a head tracking device that sits on top of your monitor and will track your head movements in a game. So if you look left in real life, you look left in the game. So it adds just another dimension of realism to your simulations. It works with most, if not all, flight simulators, tons and tons of racing titles, and also some first-person shooters. So I have used it in all of the above, and it works really well, guys. There are a couple caveats with it, but we will get into those as the review continues. So anyways, when you get the product, you will get the hat clip, which simply goes on any hat you own. Yes, you will be wearing a hat while using this, unless you want to use some tape and stick that to your forehead. It simply is just made out of stamped steel, and it basically just clips under your hat. So it takes all of 1 second to put on your hat. You can pull it on and off. Just don't have your friends over when you're wearing it, because they might give you some funny looks. Anyways, it basically works by it's of course called the TrackIR infrared. There's some infrared emitters in this device that shoot out infrared light, and then there's also a camera on the TrackIR that tracks what's reflecting the light. This right now retails right around for $150 online. That's of course US dollars. It would be different in other parts of the world. This is the TrackIR 5. It has more depth of field. It does 640 by 480 resolution, so it's much more accurate than the previous versions. It has a 51.7 degree field of view, so the camera doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, and you don't have to be so critical about if you're directly behind your monitor. Also, it does 120 frames per second sample rate, so that means it's looking at where your head is 120 times per second. So unless you can move your head like a superhero, it's going to capture all your movements. Basically, this is the device. It uses a USB plug, and this is probably a small thing to most people, but I love when companies are nice enough to put a little sticker on their USB plug, so when you're unplugging it from your machine, you actually know what you're unplugging. I hate always following wires to try and figure out how to unplug my joystick or my camera or whatever, so it's always nice when they mark them like that. Logitech does that sometimes too. It obviously comes with the device. So basically this is just a black window, and on the back you can of course see that there's the TrackIR 5 brain. There's the microchip that controls it. We're nice enough to put a little window on the back. Looks pretty cool, but you never see it when it's on your monitor. And basically your IR LEDs are in here. You can see them when they light up, and then there's two lights on the side. These show the status of the TrackIR and once it's plugged in, and I will be showing that later in the review. The TrackIR can be paused and locked. So basically, if you want to turn your head and get a drink of pop and you don't want your head turning in the sim, you can go ahead and map that to a key, and it will pause the device, and the lights will change color to indicate what mode the device is in, and it will also show if it's detecting the game you're in. So basically it shows, hey, I see you're in a game, hey, I'm tracking your head movement. So you're not trying to fiddle and see what's wrong with it. It always shows when it's using a game or when it's not. As far as the stand goes, it's just magnetic. There you go, it popped right on. Doesn't get any simpler than that. It has two little feet that expand and contract, and then there's on the back you can adjust it for tilt. A couple of caveats with the TrackIR. You don't want to use it in bright sunlight. Of course, our sun emits a ton of infrared light, so this device cannot tell sunlight from its own infrared light that is reflected off the points on the hat clip, and due to that, you don't want to use it if you're in a really bright sunlit room, because it cannot distinguish light from your hat clip. So it doesn't work under those circumstances. That's the point I'm trying to get across. It'll just totally wig out and think there's a million points of light, and your head will be spinning everywhere in the simulation. So as long as you're in a semi-dim room with not a ton of sunlight directly behind the sensor, it works great. Just if your computer monitor's like directly pointed at a window and you're trying to play with your TrackIR, I would not recommend it. It's not going to be a real great fit for you. If you can close your shade, it works great. So just know that you're not going to be able to use it in like a a corner office with tons of sunlight. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and do a short tidbit on how it's mounted, and let's move on to that portion. Alrighty guys, as far as mounting the TrackIR to your monitor, I just went ahead and pulled this old Acer monitor out of storage. It's kind of old. Anyways, you just take the TrackIR base and simply drop it onto the top of your monitor like so. And this is one of the things that I'm kind of have mixed feelings about on the TrackIR. You can see that sits there together pretty well. It does kind of just hang off the monitor. It doesn't really like stick. On my monitor, I've actually put some tape right here just to make it more secure, because it just seems to want to move around on you. As long as you don't like bump your monitor, there's no problem. But for those of us that are like playing racing games and stuff, sometimes the monitor gets to bouncing around because of the steering wheel or whatever. It can kind of throw the TrackIR, so it's not a bad idea to just use a little tape. So basically, the back of the device just goes ahead and bends down like that to grab the back of the monitor, and then the little feet on the front hold it. You can get a pretty secure fit on any monitor, just because of how infinitely adjustable the stand is. But it does just kind of sit there. It's not really well secured, so a little bit of tape goes a long ways. And then as far as installing it, you just pop the TrackIR on it right there. So the TrackIR is on with your monitor at that point. You will have to fiddle with it a little bit up and down so you can make sure it's looking at your head, but with a 51-degree field of view. As long as your head's in front of the monitor, it's definitely going to be able to track your movement. So as long as it can see this hat clip, it knows what you're doing. So it does all axes, and in a lot of games it will do tilt and rotation like this. So it not only knows when you're turning your head left and right, it also will do yaw and a lot of other stuff. If you turn your head like that, a lot of sims support actually rolling your head. So not that it's really useful, but it does add quite a bit to the presentation of and the realism of it being used in the simulation. Of course, one thing I'd like to explain to people that I thought was kind of confusing when I purchased it initially is that I didn't understand how it worked. And as far as turning your head, I thought, well, this is stupid. If you turn your head in real life, this far, well, you can't see the monitor, obviously, if you're looking to the right. And of course, I figured out later that, that's just a setting in the software that, if you turn your head maybe, 10 degrees, it'll turn your head 90 degrees in the sim. So obviously a stupid thought, but you always wonder when you buy these things how exactly you calibrate them and stuff. So I will, of course, do a review on the software, and I'm also going to do a review on the other, what they consider the premium hat clip, and I have some mixed feelings on that I will get into on that review. The idea of the premium hat clip is that it doesn't cause so much interference if you're in a really bright room, but it also comes with its own drawbacks. So anyways, guys, I hope that was helpful. And let's go on to the final portion of my review on the TrackIR 5 from Natural Point. This product easily earns 5 out of 5 wings from Flight Sim Reviews and is easily worthy of our Top Choice Award. If you have the extra money, guys, I can't recommend this product enough. It really adds a whole nother dimension to your Flight Sim experience. Next up, I'll be reviewing the TrackClip Pro and the software that accompanies this product. Please subscribe, please thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you stay tuned for more Flight Sim reviews. Thanks again, guys.